Good morning, everybody. My name is Mantle Sitole, and today the topic which I will be presenting is climate variability and farmer adaptation methods in the Hamaanskraal area. Now, before I start talking about climate variability in the Hamaanskraal area, I'd just like to give you a brief background on climate change on a global scale. Now, climate change is an issue which has been lingering on for years. It actually started gaining attention in the 1970s and 80s. In fact, in 1988, the IPCC, which stands for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, was established due to a variety of factors, such as heating, increased heating, more droughts, severe droughts, in fact, and also natural disasters. So the impacts of climate change are felt worldwide. The impacts include shortage in rainfall, increased evaporation, increased disasters, and also increase in diseases. So as I said, the impacts are felt worldwide in both the developed and developing countries. The MEDCs, more economically developed countries, as well as the LEDCs, less economically developed countries. But according to Schramek and Harmling, the LEDCs, less developed countries, endure the worst part of the issue of climate change. There are a variety of factors, as you can see there. Factors such as the location in the tropics, as well as the socio-economic issues, as well as other demographic factors. So we're looking into Africa right now that factors of countries being located in the tropics aggravate the issue of climate change. Now, climate change as an issue has devastating effects, but it also affects certain sectors in the economy, such as the agricultural sector. Now, according to a study which was done in 2005, it showed that the agricultural sector contributed to 17% of the GDP in the Southern African region. So we get to see that this sector is quite an important sector in Africa, especially in Southern Africa, bringing it back home. Now, although climate change is an issue that's affecting everybody, there are various perceptions and adaptation and coping strategies to this issue of climate change amongst farmers. Now, a study was done in Ethiopia where they took two groups of farmers, where each group had different perceptions on climate change. One group Group A felt that climate change didn't have much of an impact, whereas Group B felt that climate change was an actual issue and needed to be addressed. Now, the group that had a perception that climate change was an issue developed better adaptation strategies, such as crop diversification and changing the planting dates. And this helped them combat the issue of climate change. So it just goes to show that even though climate change affects all farmers, but the fact that farmers have different perceptions and different adaptation measures will actually have an influence on how much they will bear the brunt on the issue of climate change, will actually influence on how much climate change will affect, their business. And similarly to in South Africa, we get to see that farmers in South Africa have different perceptions and also different adaptation measures on the issue of climate change. Now, the study area we'll be looking at today is the Hamaanskraal area. Now, Hamaanskraal is an area located in the northern parts of the Gauteng province, and is experiencing high levels of unemployment and high levels of poverty. The economic activities that happen in the Hamaanskraal area is mining, transport, as well as agriculture. Remember, for this study, we'll be looking a lot into agriculture because the topic touches on farmer adaptation methods in response to climate variability. So that's the Hamaanskraal area. It also has a lot of subsistence farming happening, and subsistence farming helps boost the region's economy. Now, quickly, if you can see, this is just a map of the Hamaanskraal area. This is just a map of the Hamaanskraal area.